What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mr. Smooth 152, aka the Shooter. Smooth Gang, Shooter Crew. What's good with y'all? You already know what it is when y'all see my face up on the screen, right? Yeah, story time for that ass. Let's get right into this shit. What's good with y'all? Smooth Gang and Shooter Crew, I salute y'all, but y'all slipping this time. Know what I mean? Y'all was running them numbers up in the views, but the married midget, y'all ain't running the views up. I'm gonna need y'all to get back over there and run them views up. That's real low right now. Ain't even hit triple digits. So I'm gonna need you to get over there and run them views up right quick. Appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? And tell a friend to come through and be part of the Smooth Gang. You already know what it is. Much love on this side. You know? So this story right here takes place back in 2002, 2003. About 2003. When I was out there wilding out. This shit is over damn near over 20 years now. So it's like 19 years old. Know what I mean? 2003, yeah. Almost 20 years. Know what I mean? And I'm going to change some names around. Know what I mean? So, this was back then when Nextels was really jumping. Well, they was jumping back then. This all coincides with this one thing that we all decided to do. So, boom, check it out. Let's get ready to take this ride. Boom. Alright. Put it to you like this. It was my Haitian boy, and my other man, I'm going to call him Baby Huey. Know what I mean? Baby Huey. And my man, Haitian man. Right? I met Baby Huey through Haitian man. Right? Cool. We was all cool. Know what I mean? Me and Haitian man is like this. Know what I mean? So he brought me around Baby Huey. So him and Baby Huey had this little thing going on with the Nextel phones and shit, right? So they brought me into the fold of how they was doing the scans with the Nextel phones and shit like that. So they was ordering Nextel phones, acting like they was a business, and they was getting a whole lump sum of these shits at one time. Different models of these Nextel phones. We call them chirps. Know what I mean? So they was getting these shits in. Like they were like a whole company or some shit. So they was getting boxes of these shits, like 2 boxes a week full of phones. Nextel Flip 1000s, the 550, the 500s, all the Nextel phones before they were turned over to Boost. These was real legit phones. So they were doing the scan with the phones, and some of these phones dirt cheap or a little bit more than what people will pay for them because they had them easy access right then and there. You got to sign a contract and background check for all that shit to get approved to get a Nextel back then. So we was getting them and cutting them out and getting the money off for us. So we were doing that shit. So it was Baby Huey's mastermind scheme, because Baby Huey, that nigga is a genius when it comes to scams and shit like this. This nigga was foolproof. Any of the scams that I ever got involved with him, I never got in trouble for. My name never got mentioned, none of that shit. I never got in trouble for none of the shit. And we were doing a lot of shit. I know I never got bagged for it. I know Haitian man never got bagged for it. I think Baby Huey ended up getting caught for the shit. But me and Haitian man, we was in the clear. We ain't getting in trouble for none of that shit. We just walked away with the shit just like, whew, by the skin of our teeth, right? So boom. They was doing that shit. Then they plugged me in on the end of like when it was shit was getting to come to an end or whatever. And Baby Huey had another plan already in mind, and he was working on the shit to get it flowing for when the next test situation start running. So boom, they dropping off phones to me, and I'm pushing them. They breaking bread with me for selling these phones with them. Boom, boom, boom. So everybody eating. So boom. After that little scam runs out, I'm sitting on at least a good maybe 5-6 racks. You know what I mean? So Baby Yui and Haitian Man, they was cool. I was in the picture, but they was more cooler than I was with him. So they did their own little thing on the side. Knowing me, I'm in the street. I'm hustling, selling weed, coke, and all that shit. I'm in the streets. Them niggas is in the scams and shit like that. Well, Haitian Man wasn't in the scams like that until he met up with Baby Yui. Right? So I get a phone call one day. Haitian Man called me. Like, yo, where you at? I'm in the crib. About to pull up for you. Come outside in like 5-10 minutes. Cool. So I get up, throw my shoes on, throw my jacket on, and I slide out the crib. I go downstairs. I'm in front of my building. Now, I'm expecting my cousin to pull up in his shit. Nah. Haitian Man pull up, and he was driving Baby Yui shit. Now, this is the first time I've ever seen a Camry with TVs in the shit. And like I said, this is like 2003. Now, I done seen cars with TVs in it, but a Camry, I ain't never seen no shit like this. Then got a TV in the front, TV in the visor, TV in the back of the seat. He was doing it up in this motherfucking Camry. This shit was knocking. This shit was beats on deck, smashing. Little shoes on the shit, you know what I mean? Cool. So they pulled up. I jump in the car. And we slides out. We go to Weekway Park. We slide up at Weekway Park. And we go slide to a spot. Ain't too many people at. We park the car by the baseball field. And by the baseball field, if y'all know about Weekway Park, by the baseball field, across from over there, it's a track right there. And beyond the track is water to go fishing. So we all jump out the car. I got weed on me. So we jump out the car. And we start walking over towards the water and shit. So whoever was there before us had little crates and shit down there. So we go down there by the water and shit. Some of the crates, I roll up. We start talking. They was like, yo, we got some more work for you. More work for me? What you mean for me? It's like, you got a bank account. Yeah, I do. He's like, I don't have a bank account because I'm on child support. And I don't want my baby mama to get my money. And Baby Yui, he on child support. So he don't, you know what I mean? We got other people doing this shit too, but we know you got a bank account too. Here's what we want you to do. These niggas pulled out 5 checks. 5 checks. The lowest check they gave me was 10 racks. The highest check they gave me was 30, 40 racks. Boom. All they wanted me to do was put the check in my account and go back when it cleared. Boom. Alright, cool. After what's in it for me? Because I'm looking at these numbers and I'm like, how many people is involved with this shit? Because I want to know my cut on this shit. Because if my cut ain't right for risking myself and my real identity, I'm not doing it. So already, as I'm looking at these numbers, I'm putting numbers in my head of what I want off of each one of these shits. Now, if you don't agree to this shit, you might as well just say, forget about it, because I'm not moving. That shit come back on me because this ain't no fake account. This is some real legit shit. Know what I mean? So if the money that I'm talking ain't agreeing with your ears, then the situation got to come to some type of agreement for us to even make this transaction happen. So needless to say, I was trying to push, like, that's why I asked, who was in on the deal? Who gets what? I mean, how many people on this paper? I mean, how many cuts of this pie is it? Know what I mean? And I told him, be straight up with me, and I'll be straight up with you. How we going to take care of this action like this? So he's like, on certain ones, a different amount of people. All right, so let's break it down. You gave me 5 right now. So on each 5, what's my number? Like I said, the highest one was 40. We're going to start there. What I'm getting off of this 40? Because if I'm not getting 10, nah. Because that's the biggest amount. And I can get hella time for that. So if I'm not getting 10 or a little bit better, I don't know. So I went down and told them, call your people, tell them those are my numbers. For each one of those. I told them, each one, I told them a different price. With that 40, I told them 10. I was going to push 15, but I told them 10. So, we made the phone call, blah, 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 blah. They said what they had to say, and I'm sitting there. I rolled my blunt, I'm smoking my shit. Me and Haitian man sitting there laughing, joking and shit. Because like I said, me and him cool. So me and him laughing, talking and shit like that. He got the phone, he was like, I'll come get you tomorrow. You got your ID and all that other shit? Cool. He said, I'm going to come get you tomorrow, and this is what you're going to tell him for the first one. You get paid monthly off of each check. You know what I mean? So this is why this amount, and you're a truck driver. This is your role. You're an over-the-road truck driver. Different states. That's what you do. You're a truck driver. That's what you do. Remember that. You're a truck driver going over states. Alright, cool. And this is your check when you come back. You come in to deposit it in your account. Boom. Should take no longer than 5 days for it to clear. They're going to call you. Boom. Back. We went 5 different banks. Open up accounts. Boom, 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 boom. With those checks. In 5 days, they calling them. Yep, you ready? Bam. He would take me to these banks. Pull in the parking lot. I'll get out. Remember your line. Cool. Go up in there, open them, boom. When it's time to come, remember what you do. Just walk up there, don't look nervous, tell them you're here to withdraw, and you leave 100 in the account. Don't take it all. Take everything except for $100. Cool. So I will go in there and withdraw all the money out of that account and leave $100. I'm out of there. I promise you, every time they walk to the back, my nigga, I would turn my back against the wall and watch everything. Start walking away from the counter a little bit. Just to get a little bit of leeway, just in case something went wrong and I could get to the door kite fast. You know what I mean? So, boom. I walk around and shit. Excuse me. I'm looking around before I go back to the counter. Go back to the counter. They slide me the envelope. Have a good day. Thank you. I put it in my pocket. I turn around and I walk off. From the time I turn around from the counter after I put that money in my pocket and walk to that door, it seemed like the longest time forever to get to this door, to get out of this bank. Yo, shit was crazy. And every time I got outside, I would stop right at the curb and take a breath, look around, and continue to walk to the car. I'm paying attention to my surroundings, making sure I ain't getting sideswiped, ambushed, nowhere, no cops coming. Get to this car, that's my main goal. Get to this fucking car. Get to the car. Boom. You got it? Cool. Start the car, we out. Pull off. Once we get away from the shit, I'm in my pocket. I'm pulling the shit out. And I'm putting right in the dashboard. Right there in the console, right between us. We'll go to a motherfucking pullover spot. McDonald's or something. Boom. Take my cut. Boom. We out. They just called me for the other one. Boom. Let's go. We doing all these spots. As many times as they call us to tell us it's clear to come get them, we doing them in one day. If they all came in one day, that's what we was doing. So we did 2 that day. I got my 10. Another one, I had got 3,500 off of that one. Boom. Another one, I had got like 6 rack off of that. Another one, I got like 8 racks off of that. So I was caking doing this shit, and I only did this shit like 5 times. So that 5th time I was done. I was like, yo, I'm tired of my name. I don't want to run my name no more. I'm good. So I caked up on that, on them 5 tries that we did. I ain't had no problem. Boom. So Haitian Man and Baby Huey kept going. Haitian Man brought us somebody else. They was doing the shit. Haitian Man person that he brought in ended up getting caught doing the shit. Right after I do it, maybe a couple of days later, a week later or so, whatever, he ended up getting back, going to get the bread. Now I mean, not putting it in. He was getting back, coming to get it. Now I mean, and shit got crazy. So I was like, damn, I'm glad I stopped when I did, because I ain't want that shit to jump back on me, because everything was in my real name. Like, I took a risk. Know what I mean? So I knew the money was good. I wasn't complaining about the bread at all. Know what I mean? I was getting what I asked for. Know what I mean? I made my motherfucking bone. This is what I asked for. So I wasn't complaining. I just knew not to get greedy. Know what I mean? Because I don't know how long they was doing this shit, how hot they was at. You know what I mean? I don't know if they was doing the same banks with different people. Know what I mean? And this nigga, when we first went to open the shit up, Baby Huey was with me. Every time. Every motherfucking spot we went to, Baby Huey was there with me to open up the motherfucking account, just in case I fucked up. Know what I mean? He was there to back me up. And the shit was funny. Like I said, I don't know if they knew him or whatever. I would just open up the account. That's all I did. And when it was time to go get it, I went back to go get it. Boom. But nothing fell back on me where I got hemmed up at the situation. And I just knew, yo, let me get the fuck up out of here before I get situated in some shit. You know what I mean? I got a nice little grip of money right now. I'm straight. I'm sitting on a couple stacks. I'm good. So when I got up out of that situation, a couple of days later, week 2 later, Haitian Man people get caught up in the shit. He get bagged up. He got bailed. We got bailed him out and shit. You know what I mean? He good. He came home and shit. So it was, nobody got nothing seriously bad happened to him. You know what I mean? except for Baby Huey. Baby Huey ended up wearing the heavy part of the situation. I don't really know the gist of the details, but he went away for a minute. You know what I mean? It all fell back on him some type of way, and he had to go up the river for a minute. So, yeah. Like I said, me and Haitian man, we still cool. You know what I mean? I still see my nigga all the time. You know what I mean? And I ain't seen Baby Huey since then. You know what I mean? So, good looking little motherfucking bread, the situation, the plugs and shit like that. You know what I mean? It was good where I was going. But would I ever do it again? Knowing what I know? No. Because I took a risk and put that shit on me for real. I didn't use no fake shit. I used my own identity. And that's where I probably thought I was going to really fuck up at. So that's why I didn't keep going with the shit. And to this day, niggas still ask me, would I do that shit? Nah, I ain't doing that shit no more. Like, I'm good. I pressed my luck back in early 2000s when that shit really, really wasn't hitting like that, or that I knew of. I pressed my luck and did it then. It was sweet. I know niggas still doing it to this day, but that's not me. You know what I mean? But don't do that shit, yo. Probably get caught up and that's fair time in some situations. You know what I mean? You stealing from banks. That's fair time. So you looking at some numbers. You ain't looking at no months. You looking at some numbers. You know? But it's your boy Mr. Smooth 152, aka the Shooter. Until the next time, I'm gone.